is. It's like they're going, and then
Hmm.
they're pushing. First they do this, and then they push. The more you repeat yourself, the more
They push.
they
Yeah.
resist back,
Yeah.
which is what you call rejection.
Yeah.
But to get beyond that, you know what I mean? You want to find common ground. I had this the other day with a gentleman, and he was very confrontational, and my wife was with me, and she saw it, because she's seen me do this so many times.
Yeah.
The man was literally yelling at me,
Hmm.
and by the time we got done, 30 minutes later, we were sitting down talking like we were family
Okay, that's good.
because I touched his heart. I didn't touch his brain, his mind, his his belief. And what did I do? I basically told him that your perspective is correct according to you, but I have a different perspective. And that doesn't mean that I'm against yours or that your
Yours is against
perspective is
mine.
against mine. It's just that you have your own perspective. That's what it is to be self. You know, uh, the plants, each plant has let's call it a different perspective, but they're not against each other.
Right.
They're trying to work in harmony.
Yeah.
They're like both racing toward the sun.
Right.
You see the leaves here climbing the tree.
Exactly.
They're like intelligent enough as a form of consciousness that
Yeah.
they can see where the light is. So they're like climbing this tree to get to where there's
To
more
get to
light.
the light. Yeah.
So I'm looking for more light.
Light is life for them.
Yes, and it's for us.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for light. In the worst situations, and I've been in some bad situations, man. I'm talking about, you know, really bad,
Okay.
and where people were threatening to like kill me.
Yeah. Just for your perspective.
Yeah,
Wow.
perspective and other things. But I developed a skill. You know what I mean? And I learned that I can say through martial arts
Okay.
because martial arts it's not. People think that it's about fighting. No, it's literally a language. Martial arts is a language. We're communicating. And whoever has the best diction, the best coherence,
Right.
and understanding, you know what I mean, and can convey that understanding to the other persons in the most simplest forms. In other words, touch the heart, will come across and be able to open up that little bit of light so that there can be some relatable moments so that we don't take it to the next step. So that's one of the things that you know so-called leaders are supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
Leaders are supposed to be trying to find common ground. They're not supposed to be trying to find reasons to have war. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in
All right.
because we live in a world where war is profit.
Right.
You know,
Profitable. Yeah.
yeah,
That's right. War is profitable for them, so they're not gonna use the kind of tactic that you use to get that guy to sit down with you, back down with you, as like a family, even though you were he was yelling at you, and so that's to you that's self because using your skills to have to have someone having a mutual conversation with you, even if we have different perspective, it's 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 pretty good.
I mean, look, the essence of what you've heard this a lot, even especially now, just the political climate that we're living in. There's a big conversation about free speech. The essence of free speech is that you're allowed to say whatever you want,
Hmm.
and I'm allowed to respond to what you say. It's the essence of free speech is not that I speak and I shut you down.
Hmm.
That's not the essence of free speech. That's
Hmm.
that's like, you know, you're violating free speech.
Hmm.
So, and that's the best way to grow. The reason why a country grows in intelligence is because people have different perspectives, and even though their perspectives may be completely opposing to each other, we're allowed to have those different perspectives,
Hmm.
and we grow from there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We sharpen each other based on the different perspectives.
Hmm.
We don't grow we're both hurt when we don't allow ourselves to have that different perspective, when we censor each other. You know what I mean? And it, the goal should be, instead of censoring or even talking about political correctness as a spiritual
Mm-hmm.
spiritual beings, is to develop a higher ground thinking, higher ground self observation, seeing yourself from a greater light,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to shutting somebody down,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah.
So, and that's again self, because right now nature is communicating with us, and we're communicating with nature. It's not like we're shutting each other down. We're listening to each other, and
Yeah.
it's really a, a benefit.
Yeah.
It prospers us, in so many ways, you know. But yeah, self is a beautiful thing. You know.
Look, this conversation is on fire right now, and I hope we all are getting as much value out of this conversation as possible. And it seemed to me that we'll be having conversations like this with you, for many times, more times to come. Um, and uh, and it's great to be able to hang out with you
Same here.
and see what you up to in your mind. And every time I talk to you, I learn a lot. And I remember the first couple of times we talked, I knew that I need to keep talking with you, because you are onto something that is not as common as it should. I should say it like that. Meaning, not many people see the world, uh, through that kind of lens. You know what I mean? People look for others to blame, um, and people don't understand how, the information frequency work, and so they shout out any kind of thing. They influence the world any kind of way. But your way is saying, hey, yes, you need to take care of yourself, but taking care of yourself, meaning you taking care of the rest of the world, because we all one. And last time we talked, you talked about something, how the world is a continuously being. You don't look at things in the past. You live in the moment. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about that again today?
Sure. When we're talking about that, I don't practice. For me, it's not about becoming; it's about being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
It's not about becoming. It's about being, because uh, being is a continuous thing. Becoming, you don't become because you already, or you
Yeah,
you. I'll let you say it.
think about it like this. If I go to a, let's say I go to a meeting, and this particular person is going to speak. He's an important person, the whole thing. And he, him, this person, whether it's a male or female, is going to get into this. You need to become this whole idea of becoming something. Uh, so then, uh, now he's going to take you through the stages of becoming. He has his whole program. You do this and you do this and you become this, or you repeat a creed, or some type of mantra, and you repeat this thing over and over again, and you become this. So then, now what's happened is you've become something that this other person has developed about other people. So he gives the particular group a name. He calls them whatever, cheeseheads.
Yeah.
You know, the group is called the cheeseheads, and they're like whatever. So I, I'm not about that. You are born what you are, and that R is being. Yeah, ARER, BE,
Yeah.
BEING.
Hmm.
Your being, and your whole life is about. Another part of it is you're also a seed, okay? And you're in the process of cultivating the seed, the self. The self is the seed. Cultivating the seed and watering it with knowledge, you know what I mean? And knowledge includes love, compassion, truth, relating to the rest of self. So you're always in the process. Being is always growing. Being is always blossoming, right? Blossoming, it's not like blossom once. It's always blossoming because you're dying, blossom, die, blossom, die, blossom. You know what I mean? Because it's always part of that process, what nature goes through. You know, the stages of nature is that's the stages of growth. You have winter where everything dies, right? Oh yeah, and then you have fall, and you have winter. In fall, things begin to die. Winter, everything dies. Spring, everything starts being reborn, and then summer, everything's blossoming. That's us. That's our process. That's that death, right? Fall, we start to die. Winter, we start to completely, we're done. Then we're reborn in spring, and then we're born again, and we blossom in summer.
Right. But here's the way I would see it. If you know, if I were to use the word becoming, the way that I see it is that you were born, and eventually you become a grown man. I was born about 30 some years ago. I become a grown man. I technically become a grown man.
Biologically.
Yeah.
But biologically, you're a growth. You don't become. You're a growth. Biologically, you're a growth. Intellectually, you're a growth. Spiritually, you're a growth. Everything is a growth. Being is growing. Being is always growing. It's not becoming. Being is already complete.
Why is not becoming? Because I don't stop there.
You don't stop.
Okay.
You know, there's no conclusion. It's always being. You know what I mean? And no matter what form it takes, it's always being.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's going to melt one day. It's going to dissolve, and it's going to melt back into being.
It continues
the rest of being.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So because there's no conclusion. There's no conclusiveness. There's just a growing, the process. And like I think I said this last time, that death and life are happening simultaneously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no end to what we are. There's only transformation.
We always evolving.
Being is always growing and evolving into something else. It's not becoming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right. Last time I was with you, I shout out a bunch of names, and then you tell me what do you think of them. And those names I give you, these are the people I follow. I try to learn from them, or I try to see what they are up to, so I can these are the people, the influencer they are, and I don't have anything to do with them. I just want to know what other people think about them, and what others in the world are saying about these people. One of them.
And for your audience to know, that's my perspective. Everything we're talking about is my perspective.
Right.
In other words, I'm not infringing.
Yeah.
On anybody else's perspective.
Yeah. People can make of it what they want.
Like I said the last time, here's a person who believes in God. That's his perspective.
Right.
And here's a person who doesn't believe in God. That's his perspective.
Yeah.
And they're both true.
They're both
true. To who?
To each one of them. Yeah.
One of them.
I agree. I totally agree.
There's no conflict.
I totally
There's
agree.
no reason for these two to be fighting.
Yeah. And I can make this difference. I can sort through the things. That's why I'm so comfortable talking with you, because you can't sell me onto anything, because I at the end of the day I have to make my own decision, saying, hey, what you said the other day, I like that. I think I should keep thinking about that. But what you said the other day, it's really completely absolutely not true, and so I'm not gonna be mad and smack stuff off the table. But I'm willing to.
It's not even that it's not true. See, that's the whole thing. That's the non-dual part of it. It's not even that it's not true. It's that it's my perspective, which is different from yours. That doesn't mean that I'm saying, I would never say that yours is wrong, or that what you're saying is not true.
What
that-
about what about if I can come up with some evidence, some proof to
yes, I
show
mean,
that, hey,
yes,
this
absolutely.
is this
Yes,
this is what you said here.
that's
This is what
yeah,
it is.
yes, that's different. You know what I mean? That's a whole. But what I mean by, I would never say Christianity's wrong,
Okay.
Islam is wrong,
Okay.
Buddha is wrong,
Okay.
or anybody who thinks differently from me is wrong.
Okay.
I'm saying that is their perspective and there's their right. So that's it. So what happens is let's communicate. Let's communicate. And in the process of communicating, we learn more about each other
Yeah.
without being in conflict with each other.
Right.
Without saying you're wrong and I'm right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, somebody says, "Well, I have evidence that I can throw a seed and a tree will grow from up down,"
Yeah.
and I'm going with, "Let me see it."
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not true. I'm going to say, "Please show me how that works. 'Cause I want to see a tree grow from the sky down. I would love to see that."
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
So the name is the name I'm starting with today is Tony Robbins. Have you
Tony
heard
Robbins.
of this
Yeah,
name before?
Tony Robbins.
One word or a sentence, if you may.
Marketing.
Marketing. Good. That's fair enough. John Ron. Have you heard of this name before? Uh, Mr. John Ron. He's a motivational kind of person.
So he's like
He's
a
like
lot.
Tony Robbins.
So I would say that I would use the same word.
Gotcha. What about John
Wait,
Maxwell?
well, let's say salesman.
A salesman. Okay,
Salesman.
that's kind of the person he is.
Yeah.
In
That's.
fact.
I mean, I'm going by your description of him.
Sure. What about John Maxwell?
I think he's another salesman, right? Yeah.
You say salesman. Good. Okay. So that's good. This we will end it. We will end it here for today.
Yes, that's
and
good.
Until the next time.
Yes.
Please to tell us one less word of your tell us one less thing so we can finish the meeting today until the next time.
Just that when you look at other people, you know what I mean. That that you see yourself in other people, and no matter what it is that they're doing differently from you, know that person is just trying his or her hardest to express themselves as best they can,
Yeah.
even though you may completely disagree with the way they're expressing themselves. For some reason, they're expressing themselves that way. So instead of ridiculing them and trying to censor them or trying to be angry at them, try to find out why did they come up with that perspective. You know what I mean? If they're near enough to you, you can engage them, and have a conversation with them. And one of the most important part of the conversation is not what you have to say, it's what you have to listen to.
It's not always about what you have to say. It's what you have to listen to.
Yes.
That's a perfect way to end it. And if you have any comment about that, put it below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And if you need to learn more about what we do, contact us. Feel free to contact us. We'll be glad to talking with you. With that being said, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Pleasure.